GenderCC Southern Africa Women for Climate Justice, that is funded by UN Women, they launched an awareness campaign around the country in a bid to increase participation of female farmers in food security. According to GenderCC SA, the potential over the participation of female farmers has a big impact on food security. This campaign's main focus is to make female farmers' contribution and productivity visible throughout the agricultural sector. Joining us this morning in our studios in Johannesburg is Dorah Marema. She is the Executive Director of GenderCCSA and will be talking about women in farming. Good morning to you, Dorah. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Now, just before we talk about the challenges, because you and I were actually talking about the challenges that still face women out there in this agricultural sector, talk to us about the number of females that are in the sector.
I think farming is traditionally being an activity that has been done mainly by farmers. I think at a household farming level for subsistence farming, and I think now many women are taking interest into going into commercial farming, into actually selling, to be able to sell, not only to produce not only for their own families, but also to be able to sell to the markets to generate income. Yeah, so I think the groups that GenderCC has been working with has been largely groups. We're working with two levels, like really the people at the bottom who are really starting to explore this, but also people who are moving into this sector in a more serious way, looking at this as a business.
But like you said, when one thinks of a farmer, automatically you think of a male farmer. Yeah, but why are males sort of getting more recognition than their female counterparts?
I think it's an historical thing.
Yeah.
I think it's based on the gender inequalities that we've had many decades in our country. And I think, of course, things are moving a little bit upwards, and we've seen women taking interest because of the climate change. Males also moving into other jobs because what they've been doing traditionally at home with rearing livestock and farming cash crops. They are no longer able to do that, and we see women taking up that space. And really, I think also young women taking interest in this farming business as a business itself, and exploring markets and looking at niche products or crops that they could be able to sell even for export markets.
Yeah, but what challenges do they come across? I think the issue of tapping into the actual market is quite a challenge for many of them.
That is actually one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Access to markets, purely because there are all sorts of rules and regulations. There are issues of standards that they need to be met if they have to supply to certain markets. Another one is access to finance, and obviously access to land is also another challenge, but also access to information. In the advent of climate change, not knowing what they should be planting, we've seen the decline of maize, for example, and other crops that are suffering because of the droughts. And so farmers need information to be able to know, but also to explore the what we call the value adding opportunities. What opportunities are there for them to be able to explore that? So we are now being forced to look at what else can be done, and together with other partners, GenderCC and Seed Community, we have come up with a thing called the Green Business College, where we are teaching these farmers other ways in which they could start generating their income, but also lowering the costs of their inputs,
and I know
producing some of the things themselves.
And I also know that provinces such as your Free State, they're looking into agro-processing.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it really helping?
It is a big thing. It is helping, but they need information and support. They need assistance to be able to know what opportunities are there, what products are there, and to who are they going to be able to sell these products once they have.
And I believe that is why GenderCC has been traveling around the different provinces in South Africa, trying to share information, knowledge, and skills to these farmers.
No, absolutely. I think that is it's very key. Information is very key, and also many farmers are saying we are producing these things. They're producing green peppers and tomatoes, and when they don't have access to markets, they are then stuck stuck with this produce that they don't know what else to do. So through the Green Business College initiative that we are involved in now, we are looking at how can they start producing pickled products that could have longer lifespan, that is also targeting a different market from the fresh produce, and looking at opportunities for them to work together in groups so that they can be able to access markets, because alone they may not be able to meet the volumes that are needed by the markets. Right. But if they come together as groups, then they are able to satisfy cooperatives, example, yes, and creating secondary cooperatives.
But then government, is it really coming on board in terms of helping female farmers?
There are initiatives in government, and I think one has to look across the board. What are initiatives at the Department of Agriculture, also Department of Trade and Industry? What opportunities are there? There's, for example, in Gauteng, they've got this township economy revitalization program. Yes. What does it mean for female farmers? Can they be able, as part of the township thing, are they setting up bakeries? Can the ladies be able to produce not only the wheat but also process it to be able to give it as a product, add value to what they're doing? How can they be able to fit in, to come into these opportunities so that they can diversify their own income?
All right, but from where you're sitting, would you really say that there's light at the end of the tunnel?
I think there is light. We need to think about it differently. Okay. In this conversation about radical economic transformation, what does it mean in the agricultural sector? What does it mean for women? What opportunities are there that they could be able to explore? I think many women are coming forward. We're working with a lot of groups of young women who are quite keen and really interested and persistent to be able to look at these opportunities, and they're learning every day to be able to participate and to compete with others.
Yeah, this is a beautiful initiative. We need to take South Africa back to its initial position of being the breadbasket of the continent.
Absolutely, and I think we need to be courageous and bold in doing this.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and all the best going forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. There you have it. That is Dorah Marema. She's the Executive Director of GenderCC SA, talking to us about the contribution of women in the agricultural sector. Let's quickly take a break here on Morning Live. When we come back, your 8 o'clock news bulletin.